All right, welcome back, everyone. Today marks the potential budding or beginning of a beautiful relationship or friendship between Fiend Artisan and Why the Reliquary. Now, the obvious question is, did you play Fiend Artisan before? I thought it got power crept out of the format. Truth be told, uh, that is like half true. So, Why the Reliquary in a lot of ways just outclasses every two drop threat in and out of color. Now there's some build around obviously, and it does require specifically two colors. But truth be told, when Modern Horizons 3 got printed or was released, I actually even 5 0 with a version with four whites and two Fiend Artisan. The problem was twofold. One, the deck was misbuilt in other ways at the time that I didn't correct until over half a year later, namely reducing the fail rate, cutting the Craterhoof Behemoth, cutting two lands that was making us flood too often, little things like that. Now the other, so we didn't really have room to even play the full set, and not only that, Fiend Artisan comes with its own deck building criterion, right? Namely, similar to Wild Reliquary, in this sense, you need to play a lot of one drops, and moreover, Grist is a mandatory requirement in any Fiend Artisan deck. With that said, I was able to fit in the full 8 copies now, and unfortunately cut or trim my favorite card in Legacy, which is Elvish Reclaimer, to make room. And the reasoning being is because Sylvan Safekeeper just plays so much better with Fiend Artisan and Wild Reliquary. The other thing is I almost want to play 3 Safekeepers. The problem is it's worse if your opponent has hate for you, namely like sweepers. It's not popular at the moment, but I want to stay one step ahead. Um, I am running a Keen Eye Curator. I don't know if this spot is correct in the sideboard for mapping purposes. It does something slightly different than Reclaimer, Wild Reliquary, and Fiend Artisan. In the event that's needed, namely, it plays through Harbinger pretty well. It can beat like Memory's Journey a lot better than a Bog can. Little things like that. It has trample, so just something to keep in mind. All right, I'm not gonna get into too much about the deck building, but that's more or less the background. Let me know if my audio's coming in okay. By the way, if possible. I'll hear my socials once again. 4 lands. It does have. Ugh, I don't really want to keep this, but Safekeeper into white is pretty good. If they seize me though, I probably just lose. I think we have a mulligan this. This is significantly better. I don't know what my opponent's on, and I'm down a card, so I think I just want to put this situational card back. Now, if they're on Reanimator, I'm gonna feel silly, but again, I don't know what my opponent's on, so we're just gonna run with it, right? They did Mortal 5, so that always scares me that there's some kind of all-in combo deck. The other thing that could be sometimes is some of these Ancient Tomb decks. I think the last time I'm playing is this player. Maybe, I feel like they were on like White Stompy, but I don't know. A question that some people might ask is, how come I'm no longer playing Sidecap Cup? I've been off the card, I think, for like a few weeks now. I just don't think it's what this deck wants to be doing. Long story short, it is not good on its own, and our deck is kind of like stick one threat and ride it to victory, almost like Delverish in that sense. That's a short story. It's we want to play cards that are good standalone. I think we're just gonna fetch a basic here. Go white into noble. The other thing Fiend Artisan does is it increases the payoff density, which was sometimes an issue. Like if you, especially when we flood it out. But so I want cards that can just like buy themselves win a game and Cub. Oh my god, we're playing against a graveyard deck. Put our endurance on the bottom. Now we do have an onboard white, so that's kind of cool. Hit the Narc Amoeba. That's the thing, I guess. I'm kind of happy that I'm playing four endurance main, although I bought him one of them because we didn't know what our opponent was on. I better put a stop on this draw step because they're dredge. Life from the loam. I wonder if this is I forgot the person's name. Vicente's list. Green is interesting. I wonder what green does for them besides the loam, I guess. Yeah, feels like a must force, right? Because of endurance. Is our friend Phenars coming back to the game? I think so. I played two leagues with Phenars and it's been quite good. Or maybe it was three. I don't remember exact number amount. Question. I think we fetch now. Is there any reason to bog here? I don't think so yet. Sorry, Oblivions. Yeah, I know. I'm on the West Coast, so we do start late here, especially if you're like on the East Coast, right? I don't know if you're watching from Europe or East Coast, but or other. I wonder, are we supposed to let that through now? I feel like I don't want that thing to come back, but it's gonna be really annoying. I think. Gotcha. We're just gonna bog now. The thing is, like, the Poxwalker is annoying because it's gonna stop our aggression too. Entirely possible we're supposed to not allow them to whirly gaze. I guess we messed up their draw step by doing that, right? Or like, it's almost like a time walk, you want to call that? Okay. And I think we know that they brought life from the loam back, so okay. There's nothing. What am I trying to do here? I don't think they have LED, right? There's no way. I just get another white because that attacks well. We have the Kenai in the sideboard. It might be helpful for this kind of matchup. I don't know how much our audience is going to learn though from this matchup, which you don't really expect to play against. All right, no Gris. Probably no Collector Oof. Talon Gates. Like, I don't think so. Like, what are we trying? Kenai is really good here. Fairy is really good. I wonder if they're on Ley Live Sanctity. I don't think. I don't know if we're supposed to play around that or not. It's probably like Safekeeper's not very good, so maybe we just like board in two copies. And just like as a hedge, because this is not great anyways. Uh, do we want a third force of it? No, I think the first Safekeeper is probably relevant. And then if we see Leyline Sanctity, we can board in the Safekeeper. I don't want to like be too reactive here. These decks sometimes have it. They don't, but not always. And I don't really want to draw multiple in a game that could be like resource intensive. I forget how much I mentioned this early on the stream. I definitely mentioned it in my Discord, but uh, part of the reason why, besides like just not having enough room, because we had misbuilt our deck at the time, but I just didn't understand the gameplay between Artisan and Wily Reliquary because I found myself not knowing, making the wrong moves plays because of Fiend Artisan, and essentially I would be like priced into the Fiend Artisan lines, and then they were not necessarily the correct lines because At the end of the day, what I realized, what's now a year later is this is a Wily Reliquary deck, and Fiend Artisan is just a role player. So it needs to know it's the pecking order, right? So, and that was part of the issue I had initially because I did not know how to get them to coexist, and there needed to be a clear who's Batman, who's Robin. How's my audio, by the way? Mm, if I get an endurance, I feel like they call it, but I almost want like the second one as insurance. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're gonna tutor for Why the Reliquary with Green Sun. Thank you, Gergen JV. Unmask. It's funny they boarded in Nature's Claim. They think we're on a Leyline of the Void. That's where we actually benefit from some of these other Golgari decks that have been popping up. Namely the ones by Quentin Coleman Ella one that don't play natural order. They kind of rely on some like Leyline of the Void and such because they have a at the time a lower reclaimer count too, right? What's going on here? I don't think we care, do we? No, I don't think we care. Interesting. I feel like we get Safekeeper here. Just force white through, right? You have two layers of protection, and then we're untapped with white, which is pretty nuts too. Like I think they have maybe bounce. I don't know. It's possible we're supposed to just hold Safekeeper back, but I feel like it's just too bad, right? If they like bounce or kill our white, I don't think we care about that. What is going on? Like their deck is just whiffing badly. Okay. I think here we're gonna play at least one high arc. Actually, both, because it's gonna stack damage quickly. Actually, if they counter this, I think I want the extra damage. Probably wasn't necessary because I think in hindsight the one damage was not worth. I would rather waste their mana, so to speak. Maybe they forced this. I don't know. Like I said, I think I'd rather just waste their mana and then do we care about that? Is a question. Mm, we'll let this go and see what they do. I messed up though. I they probably forced that. And in this case, do you want to just bog them now? Probably. Yeah, I that's a fundamental mistake by me. Like I said, I should have waited for them to brainstorm end step and then or do it on the upkeep, right? If they're not gonna do that anyways and waste their mana. I was like thinking too much about the damage, which normally I play well against this deck because I own this I own Dredge in paper and then I know kind of where the choke points are, having goldfish enough. But that was a mistake on my end. If two forcible is gone though, and presumably no enabler now. This version has a lot of chump blocks, is what I realized. Oops, that was a mistake. Oh my god. Otherworldly gaze, sure. Mm, do I care? Is the question. I guess I'll let it happen. Oops. That ended up being actually okay. I actually messed up right now. Sure. They don't have any four forces, so that's good. But I know this endurance is gonna resolve. Yeah, it was just a matter of time. The Fienard actually gives some inevitability. Otherwise, you can like potentially get stuck there on the ground with their Nargamoebas. I also didn't play the best for what it's worth, but I think that was kind of emblematic how the matchup goes. I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom. I'll start queuing this up since while I was waiting. That was quick. Probably have to mold this. Well, maybe not. This the problem is like two moles already. Sure, this is a lot better, I guess. Question here is like, what are we doing? I think we don't play around Wasteland. Oh man, Bowmasters. Sure. We're gonna get wasted off this bayou here, but I think that's probably okay. It's now they're gonna hit our cradle, so it's like pick your poison. The problem is that they hit our cradle, we can't cast Wily Reliquary, right? Do they have another removal spell? No. They attack with all. We take. Luckily, they don't have much of a clog at the moment. We slam our bomb. Nice, nice. Might be game. It may be game. Thoughtseize? Fatal push? So one way that we could still be in trouble is if they cut us off both lands, right? So the line for that would be push and then waste us. Oh god, I did not see that coming. All right. So we actually mold our hand earlier too, that had endurance, but again, I didn't put our opponent on Reanimator. Maybe in trouble here. This will pass. They have an Archon in hand. I think I saw. It wouldn't have mattered because now that I think about it, my opening hand had Bog, I feel like, too, right? No, it was an Arbor. I take that back. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to look. It did have an Endurance, for what it's worth. But again, I did not think my opponent would be on Reanimator. So, like, our hand against a non Reanimator player would have been kind of bad. Question here is like, do we want to let them know what we're on? Maybe. It doesn't matter, I guess. We're probably just dead, to be honest. Murktide region? If so, we may be dead. We have no choice but to pitch the Safekeeper now. And then hope for the best here. We know if we play a Fiend here, it's just gonna get pitched. And then we can only stop one in the air. We Talon Gates one, and then like what are we drawing towards? I think we're just cold dead here. They force they force the Hierarch, which is also just dead. Yep. And that's what happens. Alright, we're just call it quits. So shout out to Everin for the heads up play there. Alright. We can board out these natural orders. It was unfortunate that we, binned the endurance, but like I said, we didn't know where they were on, and I don't think I would have kept that under normal circumstances. They had an Arbor and a two Once Upon a Times. Maybe it's a keep. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'd look at it again. It also the type of decks Everin plays usually endurance is not good against him, so it was almost like a mold to like five against something he would typically play for what it's worth. Like if he was on Stiflenought, for instance, right? Like I don't know if I want to keep that hand. It's like a mode of four almost. Against Reanimator, obviously, like it's fine. I think in the dark, like I said, it's kind of dicey, right? Because it's almost like a mode of five already with Arbor and once it's the second Once Upon a Time. And I don't think we had acceleration too, although I could be wrong about that part. I don't like the fourth Thoughtseize because they're like a tempo deck too, and I probably only want at most to draw one Thoughtseize in the game. So that's the logic for the mapping here. This is good testing too because I think with four Fiend Artisan, I've only played one league. I played a few leagues, I think two or one with three copies, and it was fine. But I want to see stress test this against the Demir matchup, which in the one league I had with four, I didn't play against. The league did go well for what's worth. Namely, same keeper with Fiend Artisan or Wild Rover, just really, really, really dumb. All right. What do we have here? Bog, Safekeeper, Gris. It's kind of slow, but if this hits ramp, then suddenly this hand is like not that bad. I'm tempted to keep this, but it's kind of shaky, that's for sure. Man, no ramp. Do I want the endurance? So the play pattern here is like endurance, hold up. I don't think I like that strategy. It almost feels like I need it. Yeah. Sorry, if I get the reclaimer out to hold up mana, it almost feels like I take the endurance here and just like curve out. And then protect the Kenai. Because the other options was like reclaimer. I forgot what else I had. I'm feeling pretty good right now. We have a protected Kenai that could potentially go the distance. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What those what the options were. It was like a reclaimer, which I don't think curved out with his hand well, and I think it was definitely no door. Oh, Fiend Artisan. So if I go like Safekeeper into Fiend Artisan, and then what? So again, bad curve out there. This deck needs really turn one door. Is pretty reliant on that, and we didn't have it. The problem is like Safekeeper makes some of these other hands like playable, which is why I'm up the count to two. Um, Possible we should just like go all in and play three or four. The card is like very good. The problem is like if your opponent knows to just like force your turn one play, then it's like your turn one dork, then the Safekeeper gets a lot worse. Bowmasters maybe. Oh wow. Okay. I hope I this endurance gets there then. They know about the endurance, right? Like I could have sworn we showed the endurance. Interesting. Maybe they thought they're hope. Maybe they have no other line, right? Because this thing is, to be honest, a menace now. All right, what are we doing here? There's one of each. Do I want to bog my opponent or just like leave mana up? If I bog, then and this doesn't turn on early enough, let's just do that. Just like leave mana up. This thing is obscene against Reanimator. If you can get to turn 3, right? Or 2 on some board states. Because the clock is so fast, too. Sure. Very interesting play there because I'm going to be able to take this down. And like I said, I didn't want to play the bog there because I want to turn on the Kenai as soon as possible. Hey, how's it going, Fish Duggery? I mean, I don't know what you're playing. I haven't looked at yet. I don't remember, but uh, I usually just hope to get lucky against my opponents. Sure. Sure. Okay. That's interesting. If I once here, what's gonna happen? I think I take the. Ooh, the hierarch is like pretty decent with Kenai too for the extra damage because it's gonna be 6. I feel like we just take the white and just like go to town with it. Oh, what's the redundant piece here? There's once we take the brainstorm. I guess it's not gonna matter. It's awkward. Actually, I messed up. I should have taken the reanimate. I'm like I brain farted. And then I guess I'll have to pass here now because like like I said, I brain farted. I should have taken the reanimate. I can't even play the bog because I screwed up. The good thing is I don't think I'll be punished, but we'll see. Ugh, bad misplay by me. It might actually be a blessing in disguise. I kind of want this on board anyways. So for what it's worth. All right, we're gonna eat that now. Get the oh, they're gonna attack with the Tamio. Interesting. Sure. Oh, I see. Fair. Our opponent hasn't played a land drop yet, which means they can still go Entomb Reanimate. The problem is if they do that, we just like one shot them, right? All right. I think I like how I boarded that game. Like I said, you don't want to find like this hybrid Reanimator deck. You don't want to find fall behind on tempo, which is why like I only want to bring in three seizes. As for the Safekeeper versus Reclaimer, we kind of saw the strength of Safekeeper there, right? Like if that hand had a Reclaimer instead of a Safekeeper, I don't think we can keep that hand. But and they have to respect this is a 4 endurance graveyard. Sorry, 4 endurance deck. So it's possible, and then we have 40% just chance of a hard counterspell, right? And then some X number of Fair Macabre too that is typical, or Leyline that's typical in this kind of deck. I think we keep it. It is susceptible to the combo plan, but we don't respect the combo. And we play the percentages. Um, not that we're not scared of the combo. It's just like I think it hurts our strategy too much to respect it. They may take the Fiend Artisan or the Once Upon a Time, right? It's like the rest of the hand is like ultra redundant. I think this fetch here has to get basic, given that we don't have a second land drop yet, and we don't want to use it once to find a land drop. The Bog is decent chance gonna be our second land drop. One of the advantages of this deck is majority of legacy players, I would say like 98% maybe, do not really know your choke points and how the tutor patterns work. So you have a little bit of advantage there. Yet at the same time, you're not susceptible if they do to them knowing compared to like a Nadu Cradle deck, which is a little bit more vulnerable if your opponent knows the choke points. Like I build the deck in mind that my opponent will be able to figure it out for better opponents, if that makes sense. That they will know where my choke points are. But that also means because of that, you don't maybe benefit as much if your opponent doesn't know, but it's more well rounded. If you, so, I assume my opponent will know or will play well enough, right? But it doesn't benefit as much if they make a egregious mistake. But the plan is you can win those games anyways. It's got to be deciding between the Fiend Artisan and the Once Upon a Time. The tough part about Fiend Artisan is if your opponent doesn't know what's or isn't familiar with your deck, like this could come down to them like you know looking up what the latest deck list is for instance. Like you kind of have to you don't know what's in the deck, right? It could be anything. Yeah, I think that's probably the right call in the dark. Do we want to fetch here? I think so. Thin the deck out first. Hmm, they took the Fiend Artisan. I wonder if we take the Fairy Macabre. I think we need a threat. I'm not gonna play around their combo. Actually, on this board state, we can just slam Fiend Artisan. I don't think I'm going to play around their combo. Also, if they know we took Fairy Macabre, they will not go for it unless they have to, right? Like, I'm a firm believer you need a clock. Maybe the clock the Hierarchs is enough, but and you just have a fairy backup. I don't feel like that's. I don't know. I might be wrong there. I wonder if Hierarch Bash is like good enough, and just having yeah maybe actually it doesn't get around their what is it called? It doesn't get around their Bowmaster plan though. Thank you for the raid, Romario. We'll see how this plays out. In hindsight, maybe the Hierarch Bash is like good enough, but we're a little bit tight up on mana too. Okay, so it didn't matter. I think we bog to play around Murktide region here. Two Thoughtseize already to clear the way. We gotta hope we draw well because we need a threat. That was the issue with our hand. Lots of mana, no threat. I'm playing both, Romario. For Artisan and for Why the Reliquary. Just like your Shaq and Kobe, your Michael and Scotty, right? Like the 1-2 now. Actually, a better comparison is LeBron and Wade because you didn't think they would team up and then they did. And I was telling Twitch chat here, the obvious question is like, why did I do this before? I tried it like when Why the Reliquary or first dropped, like in Modern Horizons 3. The problem was I wasn't smart enough to figure out how to build the deck at the time. I just like, okay, I'll just play the stronger card and just, call it a day. Turns out if I had like, figured out what I figured out, more than half a year later and how to minimize the fail rate of the deck, maybe I would have arrived at this conclusion earlier. Namely, Water the Reliquary has a vulnerability to some of these gold Y creature combo decks. This is game 3, yes. Everron's on the play. Mm. Yeah, Gris is back too. You can't have Fiend Artisan without Gris, so. The Bowmasters? That's kind of interesting. I think they really wanted to save the damage then because I think I would have just like ping it earlier, but I don't know. We're flooding out, unfortunately, here though. Thoughtseize, maybe? Sure. Their hand must not. They either have multiple reanimation spells or. Oh, that's potentially a problem. They have 4 mana. They can get like a Bargoyf, I guess. Hmm. Okay. A little too late. I'm gonna bash here. We might be in trouble. I don't know what's in their deck, but this could get a Bargoyf, and we don't have the. I don't think we play this Misty Rainforest here. Getting another Arbor is not going to be the difference in this game. Don't. Nah, I think the information is worth it. They could chain Bowmasters here. I think if they do that, I'm not gonna care. I think more likely is the Bargoyf. Yeah. Which not the end of the world. Ooh, that's pretty good. All right. Why the Reliquary is not gonna matter here? Nah. The problem is if I get. I think the correct play here is Fiend Artisan. Because if I get a Gris here, because Fiend Artisan is just gonna like get the whole army out, so to speak. Because if I kill the Bargoyf, the Fiend Artisan here can kill my Gris, and then I'm just like down a card for no reason. I think I'm just gonna like play the late game here. I'm gonna pitch the Arbor for Cradle, and then we're just gonna unlock our whole army here. Is it removal or bust? Well, if they have a removal, it's kind of bad for us, but I'm playing to win. I should got Lair. That was a mistake. KEC, they both die to removal, and if they don't die to removal, I think I'd rather have Fiend Artisan. Right? The Gris doesn't die to removal, but then there's an opposing Fiend Artisan on board that's gonna just like chain Bowmasters. Sure. If they had removal, they would have snapped it already off already, I think. Maybe they have another reanimate. Sure. I did not foresee that. Okay, I got to do this correctly. I think that's fine. Endurance. Okay. Instant. I think we just slam it down now. Just be mana efficient and pass. We'll see. It's like we both have a Fiend Artisan, so take that for what it's will. Sure. I don't think we care. I forgot that thing has Exalted, which is quite annoying. What if I double block here? So if I double block here, they both die, and then the Phoenix Artisan exposed. If I block here, I get a value out of it. So let's do that. Either way, the Fiend Artisan is going to be exposed anyways. So let's get the Lair of the Hydra. All right, we just unlocked our deck right now with the Fiend Artisan. Oof. Okay. What were we doing? I think white is. Is there even a need to get white right here? Probably not. I think we just wrist tick up, right? Like we're kind of in big control right now already. There's no need to attack here. Oh my god. Maybe that was a play. I totally forgot about the bar. Yeah, that's my fault. I I think I'm supposed to get KEC here, the curator there. So that's on me. Yeah, it's too good not to play. Turns out. What's going on here? Murktide region maybe, or another Bargoyf. Yeah. Okay. I think I just block. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think there's any reason to do anything here. I guess we just play that because it could matter. No, they didn't have it. They actually went for the Fiend Artisan. They had two reanimation spells earlier, so they reanimated my Dork and reanimated my Fiend Artisan to get out a Bargoyf. What's going on here? EE for two. Jeez. Okay. Sure. I think I'm supposed to save the Fiend Artisan. Consign. Okay. I think that's it. We just animate everything else. We're gonna block and tick down. That's lethal. Actually, that's not true. They gain 10 life. Ugh. That EE there was very good. I'll pass, I guess. I could have just ticked up more and just double blocked, I guess. But you're probably right. Ugh, sucks to bin that. They're gonna take the grist off the board, which is annoying, but what can you do? Murktide Regent? Wow, okay. Here, what am I getting? This is coming down. So I think white is gonna be freaking humongous. So let's go with that. I'm trying to think like I hurried through that, but that might have not been correct what I did there. Um, I'm trying to debate whether there was another line. If we got a Phenars and we pitch those insect tokens, but then what are we getting? Like, there's no grist to like get up on creatures anymore, so we just be cycling for a bunch of big creatures. I don't know if that's good enough per se. There's no. The funny thing is, not funny, but the bad part is all the outs to Murktide are actually out, gone too. So in theory, they could have like raced us. I don't know what our opponent drew, but the that one card was like insanely good against us. The EE for two, right? It's like blew up a whole board. So we got a Phenars and to play around permission, right? Or discard second threat. I'm a potato. Whoever wants, they can ask Everin they had her or not, or we had lethal. It's hard. We don't know, right? Like because they timed out. Um. So the question here is like, do we leave with white? I don't think it actually matters. We'll play around the days though. Would you consider this your current list or testing it out? Both. So if I had to register for an event right now, I probably would try something close to this. Maybe one or two cards off. Um, but it's also in the very early development phase, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, they did. Okay, that's pretty brutal for them. I'm softer against Reanimator than I would have liked. That was like closer than I would prefer. I better do it now. What are we getting here? A basic probably. I don't want to sack a land to do that. We have an artisan in play. They're in, I think, a lot of trouble. Oh my god. Really? Jesus. Okay. Reliquary doesn't do anything here, but like neither does endurance or hierarch. Like we have. Well, maybe the endurance is okay because if we resolve it, then we can block. And then we don't have to sack our Atraxa. Maybe we wanted to anyways, but it's hard to say. Hey Everin, I heard unfortunately the you had the Bowmasters in hand. Was that accurate? Somebody from our thank you for the raid by the way. Let's just tick down here. Sorry about that. I wasn't sure because we had lethal otherwise, but it's hard to say, right? Let me just pass. Actually, we could have just like now that I think about it, sacked the Atraxa and endurance ourselves later on. But maybe that's too cute. So I think what's gonna happen here is they can't lethal us because Atraxa can block one. So they're probably gonna go both to Gris. Because if they don't, they'll just like kill their other Dreadnought. Hope you had a good stream, by the way, Evan, and thank you for being a good sport. I'm sorry you timed out there. I thought there was a chance that you had, the chump blocks were white, right? So looks like you confirmed it there. But what are they gonna do? If they go one to face, we're like snap blocking the. They're probably gonna go both to Gris. If they go both to. Wait, actually, hold on. Did they just go one to? What is going on? I tell them they're gonna dress down here. Oh, I messed up. What am I? Okay, no, that. Okay, That's bad. I'm supposed to like. I forgot about the trample damage, so I'm supposed to like save myself 12 life there. Like that's very bad play by me. Like I'm just like spacing out on the trample. Okay. What the hell is going on? Oh, I like misread this. I thought it just destroyed all tap creatures. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna lose this game because I like messed around too much and just like didn't read this card. Yeah, I'm thinking about it too. It's like natural order for no natural order for Atraxa. Oh, again with the I'm like not being very smart here. I should have a bit attacked first, but then now I'm losing the damage. Like I'm just misplaying like crazy here. So it doesn't matter when you just you know always get lucky. See, this is what I mean. Like I cost myself like 6 points of damage or whatever it was. Which is like relevant. Why is this person playing this card too? Like I don't. This was just F6 here. I'm playing this game this match horribly right now. I keep forgetting like with Fiend Artisan, you're like down two creatures almost. Hopefully they don't consign me. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, if you want to tick down a grist is like a lot of. Oh my god! All right, we deserve to lose this game. We played hideously. Yeah, I we should have won this game if I played any better. But I did not play very well this game. Do we want Kina against this kind of deck? Probably not, right? We'll see. I threw a game for no reason right now. I think this is correct. It's debatable between Kenai and the second force. You think so? I feel like, well, maybe I don't know. I don't think it's like that great. Yeah, maybe. I don't like Thoughtseize against like when I feel like the matchup is tempo oriented. I just like want to resolve natural order. We lost with natural order right now, but I think any competent pilot would have won that game. Um, yeah, but it's good. That's like good against all our stuff, right? Mm. This is why I don't really like force, right? This is like way better. Yeah. I that too bad we don't have replays, which is like killing us here. But I would have loved to see what I like messed up on that game. There was a few different places. Yeah, I think the card is like it was like very good back then. It for people who forgot, Fiend Artisan put two pilots into top eight of Eternal Weekend. Oh, that's true. Good point, Everin. I feel like it was stuff that was like if I was more focused, I probably would not made the mistake, but just like brain farted like multiple times. But you bring up a good point. Actually, just not top eight, top four of two Eternal Weekends. Um, too many black cards here. Ugh. Do I get the hierarch or the white? I kind of feel like it's the hierarch. That is a hell of a card. Not taking the land like might have cost me there though. Swords to plowshares on the Phenars. No. Don't tell me they're gonna get me that temporary lockdown or that card is again, and just like hit all my non-tap creatures. Like I don't, that card is like, how am I gonna play around that card like that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, there's no playing around that card. They wanted it more than we did. Like sweepers are not good in this format at the moment, and we're just getting got. Like it's kind of crazy because, like I said, sweepers are not good in the format at the moment, but they're playing one. But I guess they don't want to lose to us today. I think yes and no because like who's playing creature decks? Nobody except for me, I guess. Salt to the wound. See, Wrath of the Skies is different. Like at least it hits artifacts. Like you can make that argument like a meltdown. This is like strictly a sweeper, and all right, so they're probably just gonna try to get us here. And like, I mean, why else would they cast that out, right? They're probably just gonna try to bowmasters us here. They most likely have the brainstorm. Bowmasters kind of forces outsuiters from deck. Not really. Like it's a slow clock in my opinion. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about bowmasters. I think that card is not good. I think way too many people play when they should not. Yeah, see, they knew. I knew they had to brainstorm. Oh, don't feel like we were supposed to lose this match, but we were lucky to win round two, so I guess it evens out in the end. Probably need to think about how to rebuild this deck. If people are gonna play randomly sweepers, like the split up card that is like impossible for us to play around. Like Wrath of the Skies, at least I can like, you know, cast spells, or sometimes you have to walk into it. It is what it is, right? I don't mind losing Wrath of Disguise, but like a card that forces me to tap or not tap is just ugh. Huh. Interesting. Do I want to do this on their turn or mine? They have a spell pierce potentially up. I could just actually. I otherwise I'm about to tick down on this Tamio. Stifle. Ugh. What's with these stifles? I'm just gonna get continually blown out by this per player with all their shenanigans. I should get water soon. We're playing slow, actually. I know why. Because we have this draw step from that Dredge match. Let's remove all these things that are slowing us down. Well, partially it's my fault too. You're gonna try to stifle us again? Jesus. Okay. We have a Stiflenought here. So Cub would be even worse in this matchup, I think, based on what I've seen. Would have been nice if we had like a mass vandal in our deck, but I don't think I'm hedging quite for Stiflenought just yet. Unless the yeah, that's what the plan is. That is what the plan is. They've gotten us with their stifles like so. Oh my god, so many times already. Oh my god, another one. This card is like very good against us, and they've drawn one of their haymakers. So what are we getting here that's gonna like get us out of this jam? Atraxa, I guess. Yes and no. It's gonna be 4, 5, 6. This line loses to removal, but I think we have to do it. Or I'm this is all in on the Atraxa line. They can have that. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we got well. If they stifle this, man, it's very annoying. I think we still get the Atraxa just to block. That's okay. We have the Force of Vigor, which is good here too. Oh my god. Yeah, I agree. I would take the hit too because we have this Force of Vigor that's gonna do damage. I think they have to block. Are you kidding me? Like, what is with their draws right now? Yeesh. This Annihilator is gonna get us here. That Force of Vigor coming in handy though. Unless they have Force too. That would be kind of ridiculous. Oh, the Tamio can take down. Actually, I think the line there, I might have been wrong. It's probably I should clone Fiendy or Artisan, right? Because then I could just make endless Artisans and then outrace them. Are you kidding me? This card again? Oh, is that the card they return? Oh my god. What is going on here? They must know something we don't know, or everybody else doesn't know about Legacy. Hmm. Hmm. If they have a, we get no. I think we safekeeper go for the win, right? Really? Oh, with the chump blocks. Just great. Oh my god. Maybe that was too risky. I don't know. Jesus. Maybe I forced a block there and then I go for the win next turn. Hard to say. Like now I'm just dead. That might have been greedy. Okay, let's think about that for a second. Maybe I forced a chump block. They tick up. I don't think we care. And then next turn go for the kill. Yeah, I probably just punt it. I'm like playing badly here. I think we just had the game won. Is like not playing very well because you force the chump block there, and then you have the talent gates. You get blown out if I make that play there, but live and learn, right? Ugh, my fault. If we wait a turn, what can happen? They annihilate, hit our land again. I don't think we care though, right? We get the safe keeper there because we turn off swords. Yeah, I'm messed up there. I think we didn't need to do that because we weren't on a one turn clock. We killed their. So the problem is if they. No, I guess yeah. No, that's right. I misplayed. That's okay. I'm trying to think of where scenario we're supposed to go for it, and I don't think we are supposed to go for it. We deserve to lose that game or that match. We play poorly both games, and this is not the type of deck that you can afford to make mistakes. Like, which is why I'm kind of surprised they picked this deck for one of these Spellground, because I think it's not very easy deck to play. There's like a Spellground event where you can pick. What do we want here? I think we just want dorks, to be honest. We're gonna go turn one Bayou into the other dork because in case they kill it, and then turn two White, turn three Nash order. Oh, okay. We're gonna get oops here. I don't think we saw endurance, right? No, we didn't. But we, yeah, I didn't need to go for the kill there. I usually don't. I don't know why. Like what got into me there. Or let's. Should we have looked at their hand to see? Were they on 61 cards? Like that's one of the things. No, they are. No, they are on 61. So I should have known. Right, 55, 56, 57, 58. That's one trick about Magic Online. You see 61 cards are probably on oops. Speaking of 61 cards, no, I'm not gonna give out away one of my secrets. Oops, that's not right. Pun not intended. I guess I can. I won't mention the archetype. Maybe that's better. But one of my deck building secrets is there's a certain archetype or class of players that will play 61 cards among one of their heuristics. And because I don't subscribe to these heuristics, I will frequently check out these lists from this archetype, and I won't mention the archetype. And I will do the exact opposite of whatever they're doing. That maybe that I gave away too much already with that. Actually, what am I supposed to be doing right now? How am I supposed to board? That is one of my deck building secrets. Like I find the archetype that is gonna do what I disagree with, and just find their list and do the opposite of what they're doing. Hopefully that makes sense. What I just said. It's a very convoluted way of saying that. Hey, good games. I'm a potato. Yeah, you deserve to win. I like you. You played better than I did. I made a ton of mistakes. So like there was no need for me to go for that win there, but I did and just like cost myself the win for no reason. Do I want to keep? I think so. I don't think I could just mold to like. Good games though. You played well. Certainly better than me. I'm gonna four. Deemser. So like I said, that is one of my metrics, right? That I go by because I'm a so okay. For full disclosure, did we just get the protection spell too? Yeah, I mean you're the first person who cast that card ever against me. You got me twice with it. Although to be fair, if I didn't like go for the win game two, like when I didn't need to, I could have just attacked with a white. I would have gotten game two, but that's also my fault. What am I doing here? Am I just like getting endurance? I think so. That's just another layer of protection. Maybe I don't know. Deems are. For what it's worth, I think it's the best green card in Legacy. So take that for whatever you want. I think Once Upon a Time is the best green card in Legacy. So land, yes. Thank you. If we don't die this turn, I think we lock up a game. When it like shut off their other belcher out. Presumably that's what they're getting. But yeah, I will like I said, I will research archetypes that don't believe in or one of the heuristics they use is 61 cards, and like I said, that's one of the heuristics that I would just do the opposite of. So that's one of my deck building secrets. I won't mention it anymore because it'll give it away which archetype it is. But yeah, that's I will look at their list and make the appropriate adjustment that is reverse of what they're doing. I might have already given away too much information. Sure. Mm, do we bog them? I forget. Let me think. Memories Journey and let's count their spirit guides. Do they have a pack? No packs. Thank you for the raid, PT Bench. I think we go for it here, right? Thank you, I appreciate it. I probably should have sequenced endurance first. That was a mistake by me. Actually, what are they gonna put on top though? Because the collector oof is out. What are they talking? Trawler and Cabal Ritual. Uh, yeah, I screwed up the sequencing. I knew it should matter. Let them have the Narcos and put Dread Return. Let me think about that. Like I should have just like listened to my gut. And they exile the spirit guy. They bog, and then what's gonna happen? This comes back, and then there's three more draw steps. Is that do I care? Crawler Awakening. I don't think I care, right? I don't see why this matters. They're trying to like get me or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused now. Like, I'm gonna keep the Force of Vigor in because they like something I've noted about Oops players is they like to go for it. Game three now, the Belcher kill. Ooh, we're very all in on this, but I don't mind that at all. Xanthus Swarm. What are we bidding here? Probably the white. No, that can't be right. That cannot be right. All right, we're gonna try to close the game now with our endurances are dead, but that's fine. Like I said, the like Force of Vigor is like randomly good in this matchup because a lot of times they expect me not to have it, like especially game three when they don't even show anything, and I just like leave it in and just like call their bluff because I have nothing better anyways. Um, the fact that they have Leyline of Sanctity tells me they probably don't have the Belcher plan. Otherwise, I would debate going for Saga. Um, yeah, why not just like shut off one of their lines? That's fine. Faster clock. Also, I think I said it earlier, but thank you for the raid, PT Bench, and hopefully everybody's enjoying the stream right now. I know I'm playing a little slow. So they've got to kill us through bog here. And one card is a blank. If they have Belcher mana, they would have done it already. Sure. They're on the pack version. So maybe they don't have Belcher. What am I getting here? Am I just getting a lair? It's like hit for a million. We don't have Kenai, but we can just like shut off a bunch of other stuff. We definitely attack here because the needle's gonna needle the informer. They aren't dead because they can chump block. Well, let me think about that. Is that true? We get lair. That's 3 mana. Two actually. No, that. Okay, let's just unlock our mana. No, you need 2 mana. We didn't have enough to make a construct. Actually, hold on. So we got like 3 lock pieces on board now. All right. Probably harder than it needed to be, but we'll take a quick restroom break and come back. All right, let's see if we can finish strong. We're 3-1. It's about where we should be because we should have lost the Reanimator matchup that we won based on time, and then punting just left and right here in match 3. As for the splits that we have tonight, 2 Reclaimer, 2 Safekeeper, 1 Keen-Eye. I'm not sure. Like, I definitely want the first copy. Like, it beats a lot of random hate that otherwise you cannot. Or not cannot, but makes it very awkward. Um, I think I forgot what happened in the third match. Oh, they had a Murktide region that we can race. Like, it's very awkward. I don't know what this person's on. Painter looks like maybe. Very awkward hand here. This is a virtual mode 5 already, anyways. Okay, now I regret. Made me regret mulling that hand. Probably need to do that. Grindstone. What was the hand that we gave up right now? It was like a bog. Something else that we would have. Oh my god. There's no way they have Moon game 1. Okay. It's awkward. It was natural order. Shit, what the heck was it? It was a 4 land hand, and then, like, we're on the draw, so it's probably should be a mull anyways. So if they have an, I wonder how punished are we gonna be for not bogging here? They have Grindstone in play already, so I feel like we just gotta do it now. Not mess around. If they play like, I don't know, Furnace, we're just like screwed, right? Okay. Oh, okay, we're just dead. What the heck is going on here? We can at least see their deck. That's good. What I'm looking for is Bombardiers. Yeah, there it is. So this type of deck, I will board and snuff out because I think they're like very reliant on Bombardiers, and I'm gonna dare them to name Black with Painted Servant. All right. We were a little unfortunate there, but what can you do? All right, let's get these snuff outs in. I think this fairy's probably gonna be pretty good. Do we want endurance? Probably not. I feel probably not a grist matchup either. More out the lair. Force of Vigor is probably very good. Do we want Needle? If we have nothing else, I don't think Endurance is actually very good against them. Yeah, we're gonna dare them to combo us. I just don't think they can do it. So having Snuff Out in is a little bit awkward. Um, how are we gonna board here? Fiend Artisan, maybe too slow, right? They're like a tempo-ish deck. Reclaimer might be too slow in this matchup. Yeah, let's try this. Feels like they're like an aggro deck. Sure. We could get Furied here, but like they have it, they have it. Like if they want to Fury our oof here, go be our guest, I guess. It's probably a bolt on white, if I were to guess. No. It's still a 2 for 2 at the end of the day. We give them 2 premium targets though, but I don't want them killing our dorks either. Yeah, there it is. They kept in blast? Wow. This does not seem right to me. Hmm. Excuse me. They should have exiled our creature, but they forgot. Oh my god, really? A turn late, but better than never. Better looking than good. This is the bailout card in our deck. Force, Green Sun, Cradle, White. Let me think about this for a second. Do we want Curator? Let's just set a stop here in case it matters. Actually, I need to do it on my turn so they don't get a construct. That was almost a misplay by me, but they have to go for it anyways. Otherwise, they lose a construct. So again, I make the misplay so you don't have to. It's probably already over. Okay, interesting. What do I like care about here? Like if somehow like their graveyard matters, I guess. We didn't board in the endurances, so we have no way to recycle the Atraxa anyways. Cool thing. I just realized if you exile the Dragon Engine with Saga, it's a easy 7/7. That came up once like a while ago. All right. How did I like that playing out? I think that was fine. Um, yeah, Fiend Artisan probably just slow in this matchup, right? I think we just want payoffs. Uh, Reclaimer. Do we want a Reclaimer? Do we rather have Fiend Artisans? Maybe more Fiend Artisans. It feels very slow though against this kind of deck, but we'll see. This is like a mode of 5 again. It's like similar to that first hand we kept, and then it's like all in. We don't hit a dork. It's quite good. Probably should have kept the. It's probably okay. I was debating maybe we should like put a lamb back, and kind of glad we did not. They wasted 2 Spear Guides, and they got super punished. Super punished. Sure. I think here we're just gonna. Oh my god, we needed to not draw that tracks. Uh, our hand not so much cracked anymore. Oh my god. So do I play it safe here, or do I play to win? I think I play to win. Very, very unfortunate. My line otherwise would have been what is it called? Safekeeper. It to guarantee the hierarch sticks. I don't think I care. They probably like a sog or something in their head. I don't know. Very funny. I think we leave it. This is a nightmare for our opponent. Like, there's no good way to like divide the 1/1 the damage here. Okay, I don't think that's correct. So here I'm gonna pitch the cradle, and then pitch that, and just grow my white, I guess. I think I just get a land here, to be honest. Again, that did nothing, right? There's, Safekeeper makes Fury look not very good against us. It was just unfortunate we drew the attracts though, right? Question here is, do we just play it safe and get the collective, so we just like don't randomly die? I don't think so. I think we just like continue to pressure. Like they only have one land. They were like all in on the max, just like not doing anything. That's so funny. All right, I'll take it. Our opponent tried to cheese the game, and they ended up cheesing themselves. So, what was the word? I forgot what that movie is. You played yourself. Uh, I guess DJ Khaled said that too. Anybody have questions for the deck? I apologize in advance. I know I did not. You can probably hear my throat a little bit, but I'm a little still. Excuse me, getting over a cold that my son gave me, but no excuses. I didn't play very well in really any of these matches. Uh, Probably lucky and got carried by the deck and a little bit of luck to 4-1, given that my play was probably should have been like a 3-2 or something, given the play. Mostly carried by the deck, obviously. Um, as for the list itself, I think I like Four Snuff Out. It's just like too good, right? Like when it's good, it's phenomenal, and when it's not, when you can't apply it, you don't really care about those matchups anyways. Like creature combo without Snuff Out would be very difficult, and like this kind of matchup, right? I want to see Snuff Out against like a Bombardiers. They try to moon us and then just like got ultra punished for their line. Not that I fault him, but you know that's why we play two force, right? Um, yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure there's other cards. Like, I have a hard time believing that card is better than like Wrath of the Skies, but I could be wrong. All right, what else? Saga Needle. I think we boarded it against oops, and I think I'm okay with this package. I I tried Phyrexian Revoker like to find off artisan. I'd see two problems with that. Uh, against Nadu, it just feels so slow to me, and it gets answered by removal. The other part about that is, um, you're not pressuring your opponent, right? It's just a lock piece. Why the Reliquary does both, which is why I like it. What are you playing? Oh yeah, I mean maybe I don't remember what you were playing. Oh, you're playing Dreadnought. Yeah, I think I didn't play the best against you, so maybe not the best practice for you. Unfortunately, I apologize for that. Kenai was fine. I think I don't know if I want more than one per se. It's like I don't want to draw this card against like a DNT. Like I'd be forced to bring it in, but it's not like ideal. Um, definitely want four artisan. It was like very good. Maybe not in that last match that we just saw, but otherwise, um, the safekeeper reclaimer split. The fact that we beat Oops, I feel like pretty good about it. And at some point there's a diminishing returns to between reclaimer and white. So I did notice that um the deck felt a lot more fluid or like had more things to do because it just wasn't like ultra redundant in a like bad kind of way, right? Like we have it's like a pseudo protection spell. This is like this is only a protection spell. Um, the other list I played last night was like three safekeepers, but it does lose to like rafts. Like this is very dangerous territory to be like messing around with that many high Sylvan safekeepers. Also, it's gonna come up like I don't know if it's gonna come up or not, but if ever we're playing three safekeepers, like a card that suddenly gets a lot better against us is like Plague Engineer on human because of Hierarch. So if that is a thing, we can always change the hierarchs to like Birds of Paradise. But I think really, if you want to like try to hose our deck, you play Opposition Agent. It's not really good against anything else though. This is the problem. Like this whole deck is all tutors, right? Whew. All right. I think Endurance main I like a lot. Like, I haven't done it yet, but it was a thing, back when pre Modern Horizons 3, where if your opponent tries to bowmasters your artisan and you endurance a response, you win on the spot. It's like it's game over because you essentially force a will their two drop and you untap with a bomb, right? Yeah, if they try to bowmaster your artisan, you endurance and response, it's just game over on the spot. Too bad it hasn't happened yet. Anybody have any questions for me? We went 4-1, like I said, probably should have won this, probably should have lost this. So it kind of evened out, I guess. But deck feels solid enough, if nothing else. All right, if there are no questions, once again, here are my socials. Hopefully you had a good time tonight, and then I'm gonna go ahead and raid my good friend Andrea Mengucci.